before. So take some good advice, you better stop and think twice before you take your first step out that door. If you wanna step up, you're gonna get knocked down.
Well, it was only a matter of time before we got to the first reboot. Although, I guess the 1990 Captain America was a reboot of the serial from the 40s that I didn't cover. But that movie is best forgotten about.
Thanks.
This time, it's an origin story, which is actually a tricky way to tackle Punisher's story, since it has the likelihood of coming off as a simple revenge story. Frank Castle, Thomas Jane, is an undercover FBI agent whose bust goes awry, resulting in the death of Bobby Saint, James Carpinello. Bobby's father, Howard Saint, John Travolta, orders the assassination of Frank Castle. His wife, Livia Saint, Laura Harring, adds to the order asking that Castle's entire family be assassinated. Luckily for them, the Castles are having a giant family reunion where the assassins dressed in black in broad daylight walk in with their guns and kill everyone, leaving Frank for dead. Frank decides to don the creepy shirt his son gave him that he found on the beach and seeks retribution for the death of his family. That's the core story, and it is honestly the most straightforward part of the whole movie and the weakest part as well. The strongest part of the movie is Frank's time in his apartment after the death of his family. This part was taken almost exactly from the Garth Ennis story arc, Welcome Back, Frank. It involves Frank making friends with his neighbors, Joan, Dave, and Bumpo. The tone of this section of the movie has a much more comic book vibe, right down to the fight with the Terminator-like Russian, and it is far more fun than anything in the Saints storyline. The biggest problem this movie has is that the tone constantly shifts between the far more generic and boring storyline where Punisher seeks revenge against the Saints. I know he says it isn't revenge, but let's face it, it really is. And the far more comic booky apartment storyline, and the apartment storyline is far better. I won't call this movie bad, and it is a solid upgrade from the 1989 movie. Still, it feels like a missed opportunity. Thomas Jane is a really solid Punisher, and if they decide to solely focus on the Welcome Back Frank stuff and drop the origin story, we probably would have gotten a really great Punisher movie. Instead, we end up with an alright one. Nothing I'd really recommend, but I don't think it's bad either.
Hey, if you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. And if you really love this video, consider visiting my Patreon page.